What's up everybody, it's Derek Xie, physical therapist. In today's video, I'll go over what exercises to do if your shoulder repeatedly gets dislocated because of a prior dislocation. Dislocations of the shoulder will contribute to instability inside the joint. The most common dislocation is anterior, meaning the shoulder dislocates in the forward direction. The first episode of a shoulder dislocation will likely increase your likelihood of it happening again. The initial treatment for shoulder instability conditions like a shoulder dislocation should be non-operative first. You want to consider all conservative options before going the surgical route. The aim of rehab is to improve rotator cuff and scapular muscle strength, endurance, and control, which is all important for dynamic stability. You're going to need that especially for everyday function of the arm and especially in recreational or competitive sports. Alright, so with all that said, let's get right into the exercises. So for the first exercise, we have the classic internal external rotation with a band. Just hook a band up to a banister or to behind a door and make sure this knot is right behind the door and you just close the door behind it. Get some tension on the band, use a towel to put the shoulder in optimal space. And what you're going to do from there, just turn in for internal rotation. Okay? And then what you do is you turn around and then you do external rotation. Just like that. So this will get the rotator cuff in the back of the shoulder blade for external rotation, and for internal rotation, you'll get the rotator cuff in the front of the shoulder blade, which is your subscapularis in the front. And in the back, you have your teres minor and your infraspinatus. For the harder version of the internal external rotation with a band, this would be the progressed version. Instead of doing it out to the side like this, you're going to actually bring the arm up. From there, you're going to squeeze the shoulder blade, bring it back just a little bit, and then externally rotate. That's what you would do for external rotation. For internal rotation, you just turn around facing this way. I'm going to do it on this arm just for the view. You bring it up, and then you internally rotate. Just the opposite of the other one. So that's the progressed version of the internal external rotation. The Serratus Punch, when you're laying on your back, is probably one of the most common ways in PT that you can use to engage the serratus in the shoulder blade. So with this, grab a weight. This is a 3 pound. You lay on your back. Keep your arm nice and straight towards the ceiling. And then you just reach up towards the ceiling. And then you bring it down. Reach up and bring it down. Reach up and bring it down. At no point are you punching up like this, because that doesn't really engage the serratus. You're just getting all tricep from here. You want to keep the elbow straight and the wrist in a line with the elbow, and then protract through your shoulder blade. That's what you want. So the progressive version of that serratus punch is you're laying on your side. So I'm going to do it with my right arm this time, just so you guys can see. So you punch it out from your side in 3 different angles. So you go above 90 degrees, at 90 degrees, and below 90 degrees. So to start off, I'll start off with above 90 degrees because that's usually the hardest. So you punch up, hold it a little bit to get that muscular endurance and the stability, and then you retract. You punch up, and then you retract. You punch up, and then you retract. And you bring it down to 90, and then you do the same. You punch out, and then you retract. So make sure you protract that shoulder blade with that punch, and you bring it down. Same thing, below 90 degrees. So the next exercise is called bilateral external rotation, and you're going to need a band to perform this. So to start off, you hold the band like this, pretty close with both your hands. Make sure your palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Okay? Keep your elbow close to your body, and from there, pull out and externally rotate the shoulder. As you externally rotate the shoulder, make sure you add a shoulder blade squeeze in front of it as well too. So just like that. So I'm going to do it from the side, and it's going to look like this. So this is me not squeezing the shoulder blade, and then you add the shoulder blade squeeze, bring it back, and then externally rotate. That way you get the scapular muscles involved and the rotator cuff as well too. So with one movement, you engage more muscles, so just more bang for your buck. For the progressive version of the bilateral external rotation with a band, you basically add a movement to it and you bring the arm up. So to start off with bilateral ER, bring it out. This is how I showed you at first. So the progressive version, bring it out, and then you bring it up. Bring it out, just like that. Adding some dynamic movements as you're engaging the rotator cuff in the back and the scapular muscles as well. So this would be the harder version of bilateral external rotation, or bilateral ER for short. These 4 exercises are all on your stomach. So these are the prone I's, prone Y's, prone T's, and prone rows 90-90. I mentioned these exercises in my previous video, especially the rotator cuff related ones, because these are just traditional and they're just the classic shoulder exercises. So starting with prone Y's, let's start on our stomach. Bring your arm out to the side, making like a Y, and then you point your thumbs up towards the ceiling, and then you lift. Hold it there for a couple seconds, and you bring it down. Lift, hold it up for a couple seconds, and you let it down. You bring it down here for prone T's. Thumbs up, you lift, hold it up, bring it down. Essentially, you're just trying to make a capital T. This here is prone T's. Make sure you engage that shoulder blade by squeezing it. And then prone I's, thumbs out towards to the side. Make sure you point your thumbs out, and then you bring it up, just like that. And again, make sure it all originates in the shoulder blade. Focus your mind on the shoulder blade and engage those muscles there as you lift up your arm. Prone rows 90-90. Out to the side, bring it up, squeeze the shoulder blade, externally rotate the arm, hold it there for a couple seconds, reverse that process. Just like that. You can do these with weights if these are too easy. However, if not, then I would suggest you doing these without weights first and then progressing yourself forward from there on out. The serratus anterior is one of the most important muscles in the shoulder because it helps protract the shoulder blade and upwardly rotate the shoulder blade so our arms can come up. So one of the exercises I like to prescribe is with a ball to get the serratus anterior. So you get the ball kind of onto the wall, and then you bend your elbows at about 90 degrees. At your elbow, starting at your elbows, you push into the ball. And the push comes from the shoulder. So it's a protraction. You're not doing this. You're not extending your elbow. You're essentially protracting, which is what part of the serratus does. So you protract into the ball, hold that protraction, and then you bring the ball up as you hold the protraction up and down. Just like that. The entire time, you're essentially engaging the serratus as you're rotating that scapula upward and bringing that arm up. So the PushUp Plus is another great way to engage the serratus, which contributes to the stability of the shoulder girdle. So to do the PushUp Plus, you get into the push-up position, but we're not actually going to do a push-up. You're just protracting through with the shoulder blade. So here's the protraction. You relax. As you relax, your body will just fall down. And then you protract, and then you relax. Protract, and then you relax. Just like that. Another great way to get shoulder stability with our body weight is the bear crawl. So to perform the bear crawl, you get on all fours. Make sure you're in neutral spine. You don't want your head too low. You don't want your head too high. Just looking down, nice and neutral, making sure you're comfortable. Okay? Your elbows and your shoulders are straight. Shoulders at about 90 degrees to your trunk. Your hips are at about 90 degrees to your trunk. And then you go ahead and lift up your knees, and then you start from there. Each one, you're adding pressure onto the shoulder. So if you're holding yourself up here, then you are essentially engaging the serratus as well too, in addition to a bunch of the muscles around the shoulder blade and your core. So you can go forward, and then you can go back as well too. If you want to make it even a little bit more dynamic, you can go sideways, just like so, and then going the other way as well too. The hardest is when you go in circles, just like that. So you're imagining a straight line from your belly button on the floor, and then you're just maintaining that line. It's almost like there's a quarter here, and then you're just maintaining the belly button to here. So that's another way to do it, in addition to getting other muscles in your body, such as your core, some of the muscles in your legs, but definitely the shoulder. All right, guys, try these exercises out and let me know what you think. If you're already experiencing a lot of dislocation frequently in your shoulder and all of these exercises are painful for you, then I would highly recommend that you reach out to your own physical therapist so they can create a program that's personally tailored for you specifically. I understand that these exercises that I show you here are all of varying difficulties, so choose the ones that you can do and avoid the ones that are painful for you. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.